Okay, attestations and release forms. So far you've got the claim form. You've got at least one declaration. You need a declaration for each category. And you're going to have an attestation form and a release form. Okay, you will sign these on behalf of yourself. And if you're filling out a claim form on behalf of a minor, an estate, a legally incapacitated adult, you will need to sign in your capacity. So let's keep going. All right, this is the attestation form, and this is what it looks like online. If you get the claim packet in the mail, you can sign every form. You can also sign the attestation form. The attestation form, here's the important part of that. If you are signing on behalf of an estate, you're going to check the little box at the bottom that says, estate administrator. If you are an appointed representative of someone, a court-appointed representative of an entity, of a legally incapacitated person, of an estate, you're going to check that. If you have been appointed a legal guardian of someone, there's a box for that. If you're filling it out on behalf of your spouse and your spouse's legal guardian, check both. If you're filling it out on behalf of your child, then your parent. Okay. If you, and I want to make sure I say this the correct way, if you are filling the claims packet out on behalf of a minor, so let's say I'm filling it out on behalf of my child, I'm also going to have to indicate my child's father, that I have notified my child's father or made my best efforts to, and he has advised me he has no objection, or he's advised me he does have an objection. I don't know why that would happen. I don't think anybody's parent is going to object to them trying to reclaim money for their child who suffered as a result of the exposure. But should that be the answer, then the box would be checked that they've advised no objection. If you were filling it out, again, I'm filling this out on behalf of my child. I'm going to list my child's father. If my child's father has remarried and there is a stepmother, I'm going to indicate the name of the stepmother. If my child has adult siblings, I'm going to indicate the name and contact information for the adult siblings. Now, that may sound strange. What in essence is happening is we want to make sure that a minor's claim, first of all, there's only one claim for each minor, and should more than one claim show up, then there's a judge that's going to look at it to say, hold on, there's a guardian and there's a judge that's going to look at him and say, why do we have more than one person trying to submit a claim on behalf of this minor? Who are these interested people, or who are these people? So if you think about it, you want to make sure, and it's kind of, it's kind of going into it thinking, well, the worst might happen. So how do we prevent that? You want to make sure that an adult sibling doesn't inadvertently try to recover on behalf of a minor child. You want to make sure that a step parent doesn't try to recover on behalf of a minor child. Or it may be that a step parent is the most appropriate given the child's situation to put the process through. But a step parent would have to notify the mom and the dad, right? You want to make sure as the parent of a minor that you're notified. So it's taking a little bit more information, but ultimately it's for the benefit of the child, it's for the benefit of the minor. So that first section, go back up one page, Beth. If you're filling this out on behalf of a minor or other entity, someone other than yourself, you're going to check all the boxes of people you notified or attempted to notify. If it is for a minor child, you're going to check the parent. If there's a step parent, you're going to check that. If there's an adult sibling, you're going to check that. Next page, Beth. You're also going to indicate that none of those people told you they had an objection, or one of those people said they have an objection. Or if you don't have contact, you're going to say, I did not make contact. And you can indicate, mother's name, no contact known. Just put as much information as you had. Now, if there's a guardian that's been appointed, or a legal representative, or an estate administrator, then you're going to put that there. Really, that first section is kind of more for minors. And then this will be signed. If you're doing it electronically, you can sign it electronically. If that is too difficult, you can download the form. You can sign the form with what we call a wet signature, that's with pen, and then upload it again. If you need assistance with this, come to the Flint office. We can assist you. All right, next page, Beth. The release form, the whole release and all the language is on the Flint Water Justice website. But otherwise, just know that you're going to need to make sure your name is printed, put in your address, and then there's a place to sign electronically, or you can do a wet signature and do an upload again. All right, next page. All right, fifth. So we have a claims form. We have a deck for each category that you're going to fill out. We have an attestation form. We have a general release, and we have a lien disclosure form. So there, at a minimum, you have 5 forms. You may have more, depending on how many categories you believe you fall into, but at a minimum, there are 5. Lien disclosure form has to be filled out for every category. Let's say that again. Lien disclosure form has to be filled out for every category. This is about insurance, health insurance. Next page, Beth, please. There are instructions again. Keep going. I just put in some information here, the name of the party. If you're doing it on behalf of yourself, it's your name. If you're doing it on behalf of a minor or someone else, it is their name. Make sure you put their date of birth. Make sure you put their social security number, and are they male or female? Next page, please. Now, what we're trying to differentiate between is, did you have a government plan or did you have a non-government plan? So if you had Medicare, Medicare A or B, or Medicaid, then you're going to fill out the top portion, and you're going to answer that bottom question right there, where you covered it, your date of ingestion when you were first exposed or contact by a government plan other than Medicare or Medicaid. If you had Medicaid, if you had Medicare A and B, you're going to click no, and you're done with the form. If you had some other type of governmental plan or a private plan, you keep going. So if you had coverage through the VA, TRICARE, Tribal, then you're going to click yes, because that's a governmental plan, and you go to the next page. Beth, please. And so you'd fill it out, what military branch. If you're a dependent in the military, you're going to put all that information. And then just the last 4, if you get coverage through your spouse or your parent, then it's just the last 4 of the sponsor, the actual veteran, their social security number. If you were treated by the VA, they want to know the hospital or facility where you were treated. Next page. Also, did you have treatment through Indian Health Service? You have to provide the tribal affiliation, the city and state where you treated. Those are the only other government plans that you have to provide information for. So Medicaid, it's just your name and that vital information at the top, your address, your date of birth, your social. If it's Medicare A or B, same thing. Now, if you had private insurance, you're going to go to the next section. And this is, let's see, go back up 1 page, Beth. I feel like we missed a section here. Let me look at my hard copy. Okay, no, it's just section 4. That's first, and then we go straight to the answers. All right, so section 4 is a private policy. Now keep this in mind. Medicare C is a supplement. Medicare C is a private policy. So you could have Medicare A and B, and you buy an additional policy, Medicare C, through a private company, Blue Cross Blue Shield, whatever it is, that is considered a private policy. So there is, if you're doing this electronically, there is a drop down of a ton of healthcare plans by name. If you're doing it in writing, write in as much information as you have. Your health plan ID, the type of plan, if it's a retirement plan, there's just all kinds of options if you're doing it electronically. So I know they tried to cover as many possible healthcare plans that they knew of in the community. And then, have you ever received a notice from a health insurance plan for any medical or lien? And you would put yes or no in that question. And that's it. So, claim form. a deck for each category, attestation form, general release, and lien documentation. Supporting documents. We kind of ran through this at the beginning. I'm going to do it quickly because we're almost at 7 o'clock. Sorry, I knew this would be long, but I just thought it was important that we go through as much information as possible. So remember, you have to prove that you were exposed, you have to prove that your child was exposed. If you had a medical condition, you need those medical records. You have to prove, if you're filling it out on behalf of someone else, that you have a legal authority to do that. For a child, that means you need a birth certificate. And for the most part, almost everyone submitted that during the registration process. If you already did that, it's already there. If you didn't do that or you can't remember, make sure you submit the birth certificate. You need a birth certificate that shows you as the parent, that links you to the child. If you're doing it on behalf of an estate, you need something to show that you are, appointed by the court to represent the estate. If you had business interruption claim, you need tax returns. If you had a blood lead. Now, if you had a couple of things, blood lead tests, water service lines, and results from water tests. There is some information that we have and that the claims administrator has. So if you know that you had a blood test and you don't have a copy, you can contact us and we can try and help you look it up. But the claims administrator has access to every blood lead test that was taken in the Flint area between those time periods. Let's see. I think I've kind of talked through with all this, Beth. And this will be up on, we're going to put this Zoom up for anyone who wants to look at it. Yep, water bills are available. The blood lead tests are, the water tests are available. Remember, medical records for these issues, preterm birth, miscarriage, let's see, cognitive test. I cannot emphasize enough, if you believe that your child was affected and you have not yet had a cognitive assessment, gone through, not an IEP. An IEP is not sufficient. You may have one for your child at school. That is not sufficient for the settlement purposes. If you believe your child has an impairment, please contact us and talk to us about getting them in the program that we have set up. We have brought an entire team into Flint. If you are outside Flint, we can assist you there. There is no medical exam. It is a pen and paper test. And we are happy to help facilitate as much as we possibly can.